fakes. Bird takes the shot. It's gone! It's gone! Oh my goodness!
Not many people had an opportunity to do basketball games with Johnny Most. But it was the most amazing experience I've ever had. First of all, he didn't like me because he was afraid I was going to take his job. I was not going to take his job. I was pretty happy with the job that I had because I had just come down to WBZ Radio from a station in Manchester, New Hampshire, WGIR. I'll give him props. And I had done a lot of high school basketball games in Manchester. But then 3 weeks after I got to WBZ Radio, Johnny got sick. And so I was asked to go out to Detroit to do a game between the Celtics and the Pistons at Cobo Hall. That's when they played at Cobo Hall back then. Havlicek was playing. And it was quite a thrill for me because I got to do a Celtics basketball game from Manchester, New Hampshire, having done all these high school games. And now I'm doing an NBA game on Armed Forces Radio around the world. Think about that. Okay, this was 3 weeks after I'd gone to WBZ. And I think Johnny, having been unaccustomed to being sick, was afraid that I was really going to take his job. No. It was not going to happen, but I had a difficult time convincing him of that. However, it was an amazing experience working with a legend. In many ways, Johnny Most epitomized the Red Auerbach Boston Celtics. He was a homer, but not a homer. He rooted, but he didn't root. There were so many things that he had said, like when he was in Detroit, he said, I can't believe the way the guys do this. I can't believe they do those dirty things here in Detroit. This is what this team's all about.
The yellow, gutless way they do things here. This is a typical disgusting display.
His last partner was Glenn Ordway, and Glenn Ordway was the one that put out his pants when they were on fire because he smoked a cigarette all the time and his pants caught on fire. So it was one time in Philadelphia in a playoff game when the 76ers, they won that particular game, and Most and I was sitting courtside in Philly, and at the end of the game a fan came up and blew smoke in Johnny's face with a cigar. Like a Red Auerbach cigar. Took the cigar out, blew smoke in Johnny's face. And Johnny looked at the guy, took his headset down and said, take it. And then he went after the fan. Just left me there with the headset on the table and the microphone. There was another time that I distinctly remember at the Boston Garden when Johnny came up to the broadcast location, and I was sitting there ahead of time. And at the broadcast location, Johnny had no idea who the Celtics were playing. He said, here we are, high above courtside, where the Celtics are about to do basketball battle with. And he looked down to see who they were playing. The Minnesota Timberwolves, or whoever it was. It was news to him. But it didn't matter to him because all he was interested in knowing was who was playing for the Boston Celtics. Unfortunately, for the years that I worked with Johnny Most, these were not great years for the Celtics. And I happened to be right in the middle of it. But working with Johnny Most made it special. Johnny was, to say the least, a unique individual. God rest his soul. Smoked during the games. As I said, Glenn put his pants out. They were on fire. And I can just imagine him sitting there trying to beat the fire out while Johnny's still broadcasting the game. Red brought him from New York. Red knew him, Red found him, Red thought he could promote his team. And let's face it, sell ticks. That's what they were all about, sell ticks.